Hey, my friends, Derek from Bomb Socks here with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So as the children of Israel are learning to become a peculiar people, that's an important, like I said last week, that's kind of the thesis statement of what the Old Testament is all about, to make the children of Israel just a little bit different so they can make a difference and bless the families of the earth rather than just blending in with all the chaos of the earth. We're here to make a difference. He teaches them the importance of the Sabbath day and why it is such an important thing. And you're going to see that lesson periodically all through Scripture. The Lord reminds us of the importance of the Sabbath and how it is a day of worship for the Lord. So if you're familiar with it, I actually shared this similar message back in section 59. We did a Bomb Bites video last year about this, where one of my favorite ways to teach about the Sabbath day, I'll have my, whoever, I've done this in gospel doctrine, I've done it in seminary, you give a little half piece of paper right here, and you just fill it out this way. You've got okay on one side, you got not okay on the other side, and then I give everybody a certain behavior. I've got almost 40 different behaviors that can be looked at the Sabbath day as maybe a little bit of it could go either way. Like, for example, watching sports on TV or playing casual sports, watching a non-church family movie, listening to non-churchy music, online shopping, shoveling snow, hanging out with friends, reading a fictional book, jumping on a trampoline, going on a date, going to look at Christmas lights, playing video games, getting something from a vending machine, updating your social media status, buying cough drops at a store, working out, taking your dog for a walk, doing laundry, fishing. There's tons of different ways you can go with this. So then what I do is I give one of these to each person and I have them write it down, and then I have them decide what they feel, if that's okay or not okay. And then we just start passing them around. And they're going all through the classroom, and then they just go back to the original person, and then you look at this list and you see if you have 100% okay or not okay on these things. And then I joke with them and I'm like, all right, let's talk about each one of these behaviors. And obviously I don't do that because that could get ugly really fast. Start telling people what is right and wrong on the Sabbath day can get a little bit ugly when you start doing the do's and don'ts. So at that point, everybody's kind of like, okay, then what do we do on the Sabbath day, or what don't we do on the Sabbath day? Well, there's a wonderful quote from Boyd K. Packer, and it's one that is used often, and I love this quote. Many of you are familiar with it. True doctrine understood changes attitudes and behavior. The study of the doctrines of the gospel will improve behavior quicker than a study of behavior will improve behavior. Preoccupation with unworthy behavior can lead to unworthy behavior. That is why we stress so forcefully the study of the doctrines of the gospel. That's why I don't focus on all of these behaviors, because that can get ugly really quick. And so I focus on the doctrine instead. Now, there's a wonderful quote from President Nelson where he said, when I was younger, I memorized people's list of things to do and not do on the Sabbath day. It's kind of like that law of Moses where here's the things to do and don't do, but eventually you've got to make that decision for yourself of what's right and what's wrong. He said, my wife and I tried to be obedient to these lists, but when I found these two scriptures, I threw the list away. Now, one of these sets of scriptures is Exodus chapter 31, verses 12 through 17. So if you go to Exodus 31, 12 through 17, it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, verily, my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that doth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore, for it is holy unto you. And then it says, everyone who defileth shall be surely put to death. Obviously that doesn't happen now. Whosoever doeth any work thereof, the soul shall be cut off from among the people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. Whosoever doeth any work on the Sabbath day shall surely be put to death. Again, that's extreme, but you're going back to Old Testament times on this, where they're trying to be taught this principle. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generation. for a perpetual covenant. Perpetual is it keeps going and going for all time. And I love this verse, verse 17. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. So, back to President Nelson, he said, and I said, all I have to do is decide what sign I wanted to give to God. And so that's a super important thing to understand when you are trying to decide what is appropriate or not appropriate on the Sabbath day. You've got to say, okay, what sign am I giving to God? How am I showing him my love and my devotion and my worship? And then from there, you kind of toss every list and you focus on what it is that you want to show the Lord on this day. Well, great quote from James E. Faust back in the day. He said, where is the line as to what is acceptable and unacceptable on the Sabbath? Well, within the guidelines, which we just read, each of us must answer this question for ourselves. What is worthy or unworthy on the Sabbath day will have to be judged by each of us by trying to be honest with the Lord. On the Sabbath day, we should do what we have to do and what we ought to do in an attitude of worshipfulness, and then limit our other activities. And so I think that's a great principle. What sign do I want to give the Lord? And then you start going through and deciding, okay, what is right and what is wrong? It's going to be different for every person. If I was to give a little survey, and I'm not going to do that, you would see so many different varying ways that people do keep the Sabbath. But ultimately, it comes down to what sign do I want to give the Lord? And I love that the Lord honors our agency enough and trusts us enough to be able to show what message and sign we want to give to him. And I love that message. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And thank you so much for sharing these messages. We appreciate that you do that. And please go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at bombsocks.com. Godspeed, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.